Hi, my name is Eva, and I used to be one of Jehovah's Witnesses. It has come to my attention there's been a new announcement of new light. I wonder what it could be. Guess what? Publishers don't need to report how many hours they do anymore. Really? Like really? Okay, so I'm making a joke out of it, but it's actually really sad, and let me explain why. As I mentioned before, I became a Jehovah's Witness at age 15. I met the witnesses when I was 14, began studying, and about 5 months later, just after my 15th birthday, I got baptised. To qualify for this baptism, I had to first become a publisher, and I had to show that I could do the so-called ministry, which is when they knock on a door and preach to people. And at that time, I actually did 56 hours in the first month before getting baptised, so that the elders would say, yes, you can get baptised. In my 22 years of being one of Jehovah's Witnesses, every month I would have to diligently put in a report of exactly how many hours I spent going knocking on doors or informally witnessing, which means when you don't knock on the doors, but you talk to either your family, friends, or random strangers outside the official setting. I would also have to put down how many magazines I've placed, how many books I placed, if I had any Bible studies, which thankfully I never did. Every time I was a little bit late putting in my report, especially after having 2 babies, after having severe postnatal depression, guess what? I got hounded by the elders about my report. Did you go out on ministry last month? So they can write it down. And how many hours did you do? Let's write it down. Imagine my disbelief at hearing the new light. The new light of not having to report any more hours. You just tell them you've been. Right? They're not going to know. Unless you're a very special pioneer. But in all seriousness, it really pisses me off because of how much grief I used to get for either putting the report in late or not doing enough. So I would just write down 1 hour or say I've not been because I had a toddler and a baby, postnatal depression. You know, I'm not going to drag my kids out in rain or cold. And now they're saying you don't need to do it anymore. Wow. The new light. Yay. Are they sure they're not just making it all up as they go along?